Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Derek here. We are back reacting to another episode of My Hero Academia. This is season 5, episode 3. It is called Clash Class A versus Class B. So that's exciting. We finally get to see the kids from Class B again. I feel like they've only shown up sporadically throughout the series, and that makes sense because they're not really the main characters, but there's still some interesting people in that class. So particularly the kid that hates them and is always making fun of them and then just gets knocked out by the plant lady every time. Love that. What happened last time on My Hero? So last time was called Vestiges, and we got a lot of not a lot of backstory, but we got some backstory about how One for All kind of started in a sense. So All for One's brother, he had the power to stockpile quirks, if I remember correctly, from what I've been told at least. And then he was given the power to pass on quirks, or vice versa. He had one or the other and was given one or the other. And Deku kind of went into this dream state and saw all the different previous users that I assume we're no longer alive because I didn't see All Might in there. But then there were two extra ones that were kind of shrouded in mystery. We don't know who they were. But Deku only had his arm and his head available to see, kind of indicating visually that he's only using about 20% of the power. And then the original user, the brother of All for One, talked to him and is like, "Yo, you're not alone. Let's hold hands." So that was fun. What else happened? Hawks is an undercover agent in the League of Villains. So he was asked by these people to be an undercover agent. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of stuff that can happen. I'm really excited to jump into this one. I'm looking forward to see Class B again. So, yeah, before we jump into it, please consider leaving a like on the video. That helps my channel out a ton. Subscribe if you want to see more reactions to My Hero Academia, or Shadow and Bone, or The Bad Batch starting in a week, I think, roughly. And then I also have a Patreon if you want to support me on there. Link is in the description. I post full-length reactions there if you're interested in that. So, yeah, it's enough self-promo for me. Let's jump into this reaction. Spooky dream sequence. Kind of sounds like Halloween music. Yeah, who are those people at the end? I used to not like subtitles, but once I started reacting to shows, I enjoy them. So I don't miss dialogue when I'm talking.
We're long past the singularity point.
What does that mean? We're long past the singularity point.
Don't be afraid.
Oh yeah, and his arm was glowing at the end. Shatters the window. And his arm is on fire. I'd be so concerned. I'd be like, things are happening to me and I don't understand. Just going on a midnight jog there, Deku?
Midoriya, what was that sound? Are you okay?
I like his
Yeah,
pajamas.
nothing to see here. Everything is, fine, I promise.
It's just a shattered window.
Gee, why such a ruckus? Perhaps you haven't had enough cheese.
That's probably it. Sorry for waking you up.
Of course, anytime you make a ruckus, it's because you haven't had enough cheese.
I remember it vividly.
Witness the memories of the original?
I did. It was scary. Mostly because All for One was a part of the dream too.
He's kind of old.
You've seen them, right?
You look like he's upper 40s,
You saw this
mid 50s maybe.
wielded our quirk?
He was looking right at me. When I first saw them during the sports festival, you said they were like ghosts that didn't have intentions. But I think they wanted something from me.
Yeah, maybe.
He spoke with the first wielder. I didn't experience it like you did, and you know everything my master told me. Based on what I know, this phenomenon has only happened to you.
You're unique.
The emotions of those who cultivated One for All are woven into the ability itself. At least that's what I think.
Okay.
Sounds like something out of the occult.
A little bit.
More like hopeful thinking.
All Might... He's still with me?
Always coughing up blood.
You accidentally powered.
Quirks mix and evolve as they're passed down through generations. Kids end up a combination of their parents. The theory goes that this will lead to stronger, more complex powers someday. Extraordinary abilities that nobody will be able to control. Which makes some sense.
Past the singularity point.
Still unclear if you were the.
There were two figures I couldn't make out. Oh, and you were kind of a glowy blur. Maybe it's because you're still relatively...
Oh, is he the yellow one?
Sorry, kid. But your guess is as good as mine in this. What's important is that you remember One
Probably
for All is your
makes
ally.
sense.
We'll keep investigating.
I didn't think that was him, though.
Right, so we just...
I'll be watching today, too. It sounds like a riot.
In a good way, or...
Of course, you two. You look like you're thick as thieves, per usual.
Well, they're friends.
No special treatment.
It's not like I caught you doing something inappropriate. Calm down.
You didn't have to put it that way.
Yeah.
Hey,
This isn't the Catholic Church. Come on.
Mr. Aizawa?
I didn't realize that the temperature had dropped so much.
Everyone's costumes have changed since we started school, haven't they? They've adapted
A little
just
bit.
as we have.
You're a champ. I'm surprised you lasted through the summer and all that gear.
How is Momo? Yeah, she's probably cold too. Even with that cape, she's letting it all hang out.
How does it work? Do the gauntlets come equipped with a heat generator? Since your sweat glands are used as weapons, it's a really smart modification to combat the cold. I'm impressed.
Stop praising my suit!
Yours may have changed the most out of everyone.
She got them tig old bitties too. Her rockin' bad. She's jealous.
Relaxed and full of yourselves as
She got it bad.
Come on, Class A! Let's see who's best once and for all!
Plant girl gonna knock him out.
Class 1B. Yositsu Awase. Sen Kaibara. Togaru Kamakiri. Shihai Kurohiro. Itsuka Kendo.
Kendo. Kendo's cool.
Kinako Komori. Hibara Shiozaki. Jirota Shishida. Nirengeki Shoda. Pony Tsunatori. Kosei Subarama.
I'm not gonna remember any of these people's names. Tetsu.
I took it at the festival and it's enlightening! I asked what was better, Class A's pathetic attempt at being rock stars, or Class B's obviously superior play? Oh, what's this?
Who voted for Class B?
Seriously? Did we somehow blow it at the festival, you think?
Now, finally! It's Class
Knock
A
him out,
versus
Kendo.
Class B! Our first joint combat training! You're finished!
That's enough.
Ooh. Eraserhead.
Today there will be a special participant.
Please try not to embarrass yourselves if at all possible.
Who's going to be joining us?
I'll murder him!
LeBron James.
Do our best, whoever it is!
This person is interested in switching to the hero track.
Who it be? Ayo,
General
fam.
Studies Class C, Hitoshi Shinso.
What's up, man? You're the one that can make people do stuff, right? When you ask them questions?
He's hoping to be one of you, so treat him as you would any classmate.
Is he gonna join Class A or Class B?
Sports festival.
Midoriya got brainwashed once, but he snapped out of it.
Yeah, that was honestly kind of an accident, though. Come to think of it, the first time I saw the vestiges of One for All was when I was under Shinso's control.
When you're subconscious. When you're unconscious,
Time
kind of.
coincidental?
Just promise you won't make us your slaves, okay?
That girl's voice.
I'm Hitoshi Shinso. I already faced some of you as opponents during the sports festival. But we're not friends just because we fought before. I don't subscribe to that sort of sportsmanship.
What the heck, man?
Competing to be the best.
And I'm already countless steps behind. I need to prove myself.
But someone as blessed as you wouldn't. You're lucky enough to have a heroic quirk! It'll be so easy for you to reach your goal!
Oh yeah.
I will become a proper
People
hero. Then I can
view
use my
his
powers to
quirk
help
as
citizens in need.
villainous in
All of
intent.
you are hurdles
I'm not here in search of friends. Thanks for having me.
Whoa, he's so serious.
Be on guard. He's taking intensity lessons from you, Roki.
Wait, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
I like this guy.
Just call him Roki.
Shouldn't we be getting on with this?
You're making us haul around excess baggage? That's some bull crap.
Hey, now, don't be mean about it.
I'm so surprised he is not a villain.
You understand?
Ooh. Dark Shadow counts as a person? That doesn't seem fair. Oh, that's a severely handicapped team. Other than Deku, the rest are not great.
One team from each class. I can't wait to see how he fights. I wonder what new abilities he learned.
Where were you keeping that?
In his butt crack.
I finally reached it. My starting line.
Teams will begin at your...
If you look at their grades, Class B has actually improved more than they have. It's probably because they were able to cover the curriculum since they didn't run into outside trouble. They've been getting better at a steady rate.
Yeah, they actually get to learn stuff.
Also, he's camouflage. If you know where to look, you can still see her.
Heard, but don't you think I could just separate from you guys and let off 1,000,000 volts or something?
Yeah, but what if they knock you out with a sneak attack?
Yeah. Also, you get dumb when you use electricity a lot.
Shiozaki will be tough.
I'd like to take out the most troublesome quirk first.
My dude Shinso, you get it.
It's the obvious plan.
If we're hoping to do something about Ibarra first, then they're probably thinking the same thing about Kaminari and his dangerous attacks.
Such a weird shot to focus on. Birds.
Thank you, friends.
So, did they find her?
I love him.
To our left, alone.
Ah! Oh.
Both of them? That's not good.
Froppy, no.
I sniffed you out with my acute sense of smell! Jirota Shishida, quirk, beast. This feral mode drastically increases his
I wonder if the
sight and ability
animal
to
kid
sense
could
things
control
out.
him.
It also causes him to go air prison.
What?
A solitary cell that won't allow any sound in. Take them down, Shishida. Consider this our win already. The monster's gonna murder me.
He doesn't even have to ask a question anymore?
It sounded like Shinso somehow talked with my voice. What? Wait, what is that mask?
Vocal modulator. Persona chords.
What? What did he do? That's it? Oh my god. Come on, really? I feel like that was like a 10-minute episode. Okay. So, not a whole lot happened in that episode. Really, like, at all. So, I don't know what to say. So, we kind of get a little bit of a recap of the dream sequence that happened at the end of last episode. And he talks to All Might about it. All Might hasn't gone through that. He has no idea what that's like. All he knows from his master, or all he knows about that type of thing is what he knows from his master. And he's like had that dream, but his master kind of told him that they were just kind of like ghosts or whatever, or like beings. They didn't have necessarily any motives. But Deku seems to have talked with the original, and he seems to have more of a actual directive, and he's speaking to Deku. So we get a little bit of info on like what the singularity point might be. So I think the way they were kind of describing it, this was brought up in a previous season where, eventually, someone has a fire quirk, they have a kid with like an electricity quirk, that kid might have some weird, crazy, complicated quirk. And then that person has a kid with someone else with a complicated quirk, and it just keeps going until all these quirks are so like complex and powerful that they really can't be controlled. And I think the singularity point is like the point at which you pass that of like, normal quirks aren't a thing anymore, and you can't really control what's happening. So it's possible that the original was trying to say, like, you know, we're past that point, we're past the singularity point, but I'm not entirely sure. And we still don't know who the two extra shadowy figures were. I'm hoping we figure that out eventually. But then the latter half of this episode is really just like starting a Class A versus Class B battle. So their goal is to kind of not kidnap, but I guess capture members of the opposing team. But then there's a guy from the he's from kind of like undecided studies, just like general studies, who's hoping to join the hero course. And Deku fought him in the sports battle in like season 1. And his quirk back then was like, if he asked you a question and you responded to him or like talked to him at all, like he then could control you. And that seems to still be his quirk now, but it looks like he has some like device that can like mimic or capture people's voices and speak in those voices. So that's interesting. And yeah, they highlight that Class B is while they haven't had to deal with all these like, you know, crises and they haven't had to overcome those, that they've had actual time to like go over the curriculum like actually learn. And so while they've progressed very differently than Class A, they are improving their quirks at a faster rate is what I'm understanding. Or at least like they're doing it differently. Like they're still pretty powerful. Because every time Class A has gotten close to learning something, they've just had some villain attack them and they can't do it. So yeah, and then it ends, and that was just like the end of the episode. But it looks like next episode is going to be like the first battle, that first team, and we're really going to see kind of like the differences in how the two sides' quirks have progressed. So that's interesting. Looking forward to seeing that. Overall, this wasn't a filler episode, but like nothing really happened other than the stuff at the beginning. The stuff at the beginning was more like the actual like important things we might need to know, but it didn't really reveal much. So hopefully next week we get to see some like actual battles. I mean, we saw like kind of like the start of one, but not really. So hopefully next week is fun as well. This was a good episode. Yeah. Let me know what you thought of this episode down below in the comments, if you are someone that comments. I mean, these episodes don't get a ton of views, so, you know, if you're here, thank you. It means a lot. It means you're a loyal person. But if you liked what you saw, please leave a like on the video. Helps my channel out a ton. Helps my videos get seen more. Subscribe if you want to see more of my reactions to My Hero Academia if you're new here. Or if you want to see my reactions to like Shadow and Bone or the Bad Batch coming up or anything like that. And then if you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, or if you just want to support me in general, head down to my Patreon. It is linked in the description. That would mean a lot to me as well. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.